Welcome back, adventurer. Today's creature has been described as simply half a vampire. To hear the other half of this tale, you best pull up a stool at Creature Tavern. Hello again, adventurer. Always warms me heart to see you back. Sit down, and let's get into our first creature, the Manananggal, from Filipino folklore. The name Manananggal is derived from the Filipino word langgal, meaning to remove, to separate, or to detach. This etymology reflects the creature's most defining characteristic, its ability to separate its upper torso from its lower. Yes, you heard me right. This creature splits itself right at the waist, and we'll cover that more in just a minute. First, according to law, Manananggal are considered a type of Aswang, broader Filipino folklore category that encompasses demons, ghouls, and witches. And this classification places Manananggal among some of the most feared and supernatural entities in all of the Philippines. Rumoured to have roamed this mortal coil since at least 1582, this terror has been haunting folks for centuries. The Manananggal's appearance changes quite dramatically between day and night. It's a dual-natured creature, and a rather deceptive one at that. By day, it's portrayed as just the most beautiful woman one could ever lay eyes on. And this glowing facade allows it to blend in with ordinary society, masking its true, monstrous identity. By night, it transforms into a fearsome, grotesque creature. Although earlier I mentioned this creature falls under the umbrella term of Aswang, but it's most commonly described as a subspecies of vampire. Manananggal are said to share a good few of these common traits, such as elongated canine fangs and large membrane wings. Folks say these wings enhance the terrifying, nightmarish presence. It not only allows the beast to take to the skies, but the shadows they cast are known to inject fear into the hearts of any unfortunate souls unlucky enough to walk into them. Though most often female, there have been rare sightings of a male variant, and this suggests that the phenomenon is not exclusive to one gender. So keep your eyes peeled for beautiful men as well, adventurer. You don't want to get caught off guard with this one. Legend of the Manananggal is widely recognised in the Visayan regions of the Philippines. If you get your map out again, I'll mark the spots. You'll want to be extra alert in the western province of Capiz, Iloilo, Bohol, and Antique. Legends say that's where most of the sightings occur, but if you've only got time for one, then I'd recommend Capiz. From what I've read, that's where the majority of sightings occur. It seems it's a focal point for Manananggal. But where do Manananggal come from, I hear you ask? Well, a woman can become a Manananggal through several disturbing methods. One commonly spoken about origin is the result of a curse, usually tied to the commission of grave sins. The specific curse seems lost to time, as no document I was able to look at could say what it was. A more elaborate metamorphosis involves a dark ritual carried out under a full moon. In this practice, a current, usually senior Manananggal, prepares a potion made from bat wings, charred fetus remains, animal blood, bile, or innards from an existing Manananggal, combined with an enchanted coconut oil. When a woman consumes this mixture, she is transformed into a Manananggal. An older and more arcane tradition describes a variation of that ritual. In this version, a woman becomes a Manananggal by eating a baby black chicken, produced by the current Manananggal. And the chick isn't laid as an egg, but instead regurgitated whole by the current Manananggal. It's described as having black, oily feathers, 0 eyes, a cold, clammy body, and a heart that beats with an unnatural rhythm. In their human form, Manananggal are capable of living rather normal lives, with the ability to perform all the functions of a regular human woman, including sex and childbirth. And this, dear adventurer, is the final way one becomes a Manananggal. The curse is passed down the bloodline, but with this method, the change isn't immediate. The curse lies dormant in the offspring, only activating if at least one of 3 conditions are met. The child undergoes puberty, the child suffers a traumatic event, or the parent Manananggal dies. Once they're converted, you'll find the Manananggal's most notorious ability to be the power of separation. A Manananggal will sprout 2 large bat wings from her back, and as they begin to flap, her torso will detach from her legs and begin to elevate higher and higher. Her intestines will hang and dangle from the exposed breakpoint, and once she takes flight, there won't be any cleanup either. Her entrails will simply remain, like a bloody pink set of tentacles, waving in the wind as she searches the night sky for her victims. If you want to catch this gory human kite, you'll want to head out at night, as the Manananggal personality we're interested in are entirely nocturnal. And if you want in bait, then you'll need to get your hands on a pregnant woman, as they're the preferred prey. First thing to note is the Manananggal only ever feed on sleeping victims. Once they spy a tasty pregnant lady, they'll fly low, spying through whatever cracks or windows it can find to ensure their dinner's asleep. Then using its elongated, proboscis-like tongue, they'll slip it through any open window, knocking off the latch and allowing them entry. So careful if you like a little breeze when you sleep. Now with the infiltration phase done, Manananggal begin to feed, using that unnervingly long tongue to extract fetuses, most often targeting the fetal heart. At this point, I bet you're thinking you'd just wake up. Well, according to the law, Manananggal are careful not to wake their sleeping victims. With surgical precision, they're able to select the least intrusive entry point. Could be through your ears, or maybe she slips in under your eyeball, in the nose, mouth, or through some lower body openings. And her taste is not limited to pregnant women. Folks tell me Manananggal are also open to trying the flavours of a newborn child, newlyweds, lovers, and the odd groom who's been jilted at the altar. On these diets, when there aren't any fetuses available, Manananggal are said to consume adult organs. And it doesn't sound like she's too picky with these either. I've seen records that state she'll happily chow down on hearts, lungs, liver and intestines. They've also been known to feed on bodily fluids too, phlegm and bile ranking top on her favourites for this menu. But some folks tell me Manananggal will drink any and all fluids you got. However, in these cases, it's typically only from the sick and elderly. So if you've got a cough in your 20s, you might just lose an organ. Despite the gruesome nature of all these acts, Manananggal never seem to leave any external marks on her victims. You might not even know you've been part of this monster's diet, unless she's eaten your heart, or your lungs. There might be a slight giveaway with that one. So how can you prevent yourself from appearing on this very exclusive menu? First things first, if you notice half a Batwoman flying around with her entrails exposed, then you'll want to find her lower half, and quick. See if a Manananggal fails to make her half whole before first light, she'll die. And to achieve this, you can do a few things. You could nick her legs and run. You could throw them in a bush and hope she doesn't see where you hit them. Or like the more obvious European vampire, Manananggals are violently allergic to the following: salt, garlic, ash, vinegar, fire, and holy water. If you rub any of these on the connection point of her lower half, they'll prevent the rebonding process. Careful with this one though. Manananggal aren't stupid. They're well aware of this vulnerability and are known to hide their legs while their top half's out on the town. So bring a lookout if you fancy playing hide and seek with a detached pair of monster legs. Another similarity with the common vampire is the Manananggal's extremely bad reaction to sunlight. This is only going to work on the night form though, but if you can distract it for long enough, or get it to chase you eastward, you should be able to burn that bitch up. I also found a rather unusual story of the Manananggal's fear of stingrays, specifically their tails. Apparently people would fashion these into daggers, and they really don't think that's cool. But if you're a bit more proactive, there's a few methods of reversal if you happen to witness a Manananggal's transformation ritual. If you're dealing with the black chick ceremony, then you've got to destroy the baby bird before it matures inside the new host. This method does come with a few hurdles, mind. First, let's get the chick out without harming the person who swallowed it. Best approach I found is to feed them something so foul they vomit everything up. Or you could grab them by their ankles and spin them round. Just careful not to spin them for too long. Wouldn't want all their blood flooding their brain. Whichever method you choose, just make sure you approach the situation with calm in your heart. As that baby chick wasn't just dinner. It's said to be a sentient parasite. And if it senses danger, they're known to take control of their host and kill them before you kill it. If you're dealing with the potion route, that's a little easier. But there is a clock. You'll need to slay the elder Manananggal that made the brew, and within the lunar cycle the ritual took place under. But with this one, the person that took the drink must be the one to land the killing blow. And if you or someone you know has a Manananggal as a parent, you're screwed. Some documents say that bathing in spring water, blessed by moonlight, or taking a 7-day fast in a mountain shrine might work, but it's not as easy to rid when it's your own blood. If you're successful in this endeavour, the curse is said to only be silenced, not exorcised. It'll never truly leave, and you must stay away from consuming blood and meat for the rest of your days, lest the curse reawaken. And with that, we're finished with today's creature. And we've learned that a little seasoning can save your life. Now that bell means it's last call here at Creature Tavern, so grab yourself one more drink for the road, and until next time, tread carefully, adventurer. You never know when you might wander into the weird